Danny. Happy Tuesday.
I couldn't agree more. I am looking at Petersburg. You've got a new one. Very exciting stuff. It shows William is, the third. Look at that. That's unusual in America.
Yeah, so it's a family lineage, and they built kind of it looks from the outside, a real estate empire. It's a huge self-storage place across the street, and they have the sign saying, hey, if you need change, go across the street. And that's who you're going to be calling, is that office.
Okay.
So this is kind of off to the side. It's got all the stuff you need to have a good laundromat, but they're not really committing to it.
Yeah.
But it's got the space.
Look at that.
Relatively
sign.
good.
Is that a hand-painted sign? Management
Yeah.
not responsible for damage. Clothes. Damage. There should just be a D on that. Would make me so happy. Damage. Doesn't say damaged. Shit. Yeah, this, and these small town, big time, this is like an old A-Team episode where these are the guys that need to be eradicated. So they don't intimidate me. Bill the third. Let's call the number. So the number rings where?
So there's a self-storage place across the street.
Okay.
Called let's see, what did I see? Put the name in.
Well, whatever it is,
Ample Storage.
Okay, we're probably going to
It's the same place. So he owns Ample Storage. He owns this place. He owns, I think, the building next to the laundromat. Like I said, his family built up over time. So kind of tough to get a hold of Mr. Horning. I have his and I think his wife's cell numbers, but it just kind of rings and rings and rings. And I think they may have just said, hey,
we'll
call the store. So.
And, maybe we'll get a woman with ample bosoms and
yeah,
we will see what we can see. I've
right.
got a way to sort of make them think I kind of know the guy, but if I did, I'd have his cell, so they know better. All right, I'm dialing in.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Go ahead.
Stand by. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
South Self-Storage. Can I help you?
Yes, sir. My name's Danny. I'm looking to talk to Bill.
Who's Bill?
William Horning III.
How can he help you?
I am interested in leasing some space from you, sir.
What kind of space? The storage?
South Crater Road. Actually the laundromat, William. I'm in the laundry business, and my intrigue is in perhaps talking lease terms with you, giving you a rent check there and putting some new equipment in the laundry. I'm interested in building out some more stores in the Petersburg area, and could be a pretty good symbiosis for us if, in fact, you're interested in leasing it out. That's how I've built all of my locations, really. Dealing with landlords instead of dealing with operators, but in this case, you're both. So I don't know. I've been in the store a few times. I don't see a lot of customers using it, and maybe I can help change that and give the community a laundromat with some newer equipment. I'm willing to throw a few $100,000 at it, but I don't want to build a laundromat, if you know what I mean, William.
No, I'm not interested.
Why not collect a rent
check? Were you in there the other day
time?
taking pictures?
That's my partner, Ken. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
So if I provide you $10,000 a month in rent, that wouldn't
I'm not
change
interested.
$20,000 a month. William, why not provide a better laundromat for the community? I'm truly intrigued. He hung up. Ken, how did he know you're in there taking pictures? Was there anybody in there? Ken, you got to unmute your phone, bud.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I was in there yesterday. I got some pictures. And I don't know if I saw William or not. I don't think I would have seen him on a Saturday. It was folks cleaning. There was an older gentleman, but he looked pretty unkept. But you never know.
There were people cleaning up the laundromat, but no one using the laundromat, or were there?
There was only there was 3 people, and it looked like one may have been doing laundry, and I don't know if it was her laundry or if she was just doing some laundry for the work for the business there.
Right.
So yeah, it's never really seen a ton of traffic. It's kind of a little bit out of the way. Stuff's going there. I think if it's got the right stuff, it could attract attention. But yeah, I mean, the guy doesn't owe any money. Like I said, it hits the 3rd.
Well, listen,
So
listen.
it ain't worth
having
much, but he ain't paying any notes.
all of this is an academic discussion, right? His people there. First of all, he's an old dude. I just called this guy who you think is some kind of a local real estate mogul, and he's literally sitting in
at his self-storage.
The self-storage, playing darts. He's an older gentleman. It astounds me that these folks, and I'm not saying you have to be fishing every day or retired or building little tiny ships in bottles, but to sit there and do a job that I assumed I'd call the number from your explanation and I'd get some gal that's getting paid hourly that's going to answer the telephone and have to leave a message. Now, when my name is Daniel M. D'Angelo the Fifth, I assume that I'll go by Danny, but I'm wrong. So I asked for, and it's important to put this in the notes. I say, Bill, who's that? The guy's a smartass. I like that, right? Who's that? So he goes by. So I instantly know. Call him William. I'm assuming that it's him, and it is. Sure enough. All of the hopes and dreams of this guy being some mogul wearing a tie, driving a Mercedes, have been dashed into 1,000 pieces. The reality is far different, and now we know. So he's got an image. Were you in there taking pictures? And I think, well, the photos that you have don't show any other human beings, right? So I'm going off of that. I'm seeing a completely
and I do that
empty
deliberately
parking lot. Well, yeah, I don't care if you get snap. Yeah, you don't want to point the camera at people because they freak out. But there are no working cameras in there. The walls aren't paneled. They got the management not responsible for damage close. He's not interested for whatever reason. It's really none of our business. It looks like they take care of the store. They've got people in there cleaning, and whatever the money is. So I go straight to the one thing, right? You're not interested in $10,000 a month in rent. No. So he knows I'm bullshitting. He knows I'm not going to give him 10 grand. But if he were to say, well, I'm listening, then I say, all right, well, we're somewhere between $0 a month, which would be fair and reasonable rent, and $10,000 a month, which is what you're willing to accept. And somewhere in between is the reality that we need to both understand. But he's not working in there. It's making him enough money that it makes sense for him and the family. Like you said, you've done a little research, the bills are paid. That's the thing about this. Now, on the flip side of this, you got a bunch of dipshits that are calling around offering to buy these businesses. And this guy probably is getting phone calls. So now I'm supposed to call him because I bought some $500 course that says, call operators and offer to buy their business no matter what, and then give them X amount of dollars down and have them owe the rest. So I don't know for certain, but this guy's phone might be ringing with people saying, I want to buy it. I want to buy it. And if he had said yes to any of them, well, how much you want to spend?
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been trained. They haven't been taught how to answer that question. The real answer is, as you've heard me say for leases, as little as possible. Not trying to wind somebody up or piss them off, but I want to spend as little as possible. That's a real answer. I don't care how old this guy is. I don't care if he's a third or a fifth. He's in real estate, like you said. He should understand enough about it that he shouldn't be sitting across the street twiddling his thumbs all the live long day waiting. But he likes to get up in the morning and put
Yeah,
his pants on
he
and go to
he
work.
made he's I mean he's an older guy, but it really was, I don't know if it was senior or junior because he's the
Well, I
third.
don't want to talk about what we
But
don't know.
somebody made the fortune. He's living off of a
Sure.
fortune. He didn't build it. He didn't build it.
What we do know is that many times I call these guys back 2 or 3 times. It's just going to piss him off. There's no reason to do that. When something changes, when his health changes, when his wife decides to run off to Reno, whatever, we're not going to know or understand what the change was. But as you've heard me say, you need to keep a close physical eye on this place and watch. The change could be small. Maybe there's a sign that says no hot water this week. Wonder why. Did their hot water system break down? Are they not paying their bill? Whatever. But when something like that does change, that's why we have to take good pictures and keep good notes. You flip it to me, and when your day comes up, we call him up and say, William, right? We have to keep good notes because now we have more information. This information you'd never get from a book. I don't know if he goes by Bill, Billy, Bad Bill, Billy the Kid. Who fucking knows? Well, now we do. William. That's what he prefers. And they probably call him Trace. I don't know. We've got another chance for glory here, and what you have found, and you've got another one here. I'm looking
Yeah, I've
at
got
it
another. It's gonna be another older dude.
Yeah.
But his claim to fame is he's got a realty business. It looks like he started in realty, sold. He also has rental property, primarily in the residential space, because their website for Swear Engine Realty doesn't show anything about this place. I looked them up on public records.
We're actually
It's them.
live. We're actually live, so let's leave all the names and addresses and stuff out
Okay.
to protect the
So
guilty. This place is a shithole.
Yeah, so I had to look them up on public record.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's so they're hiding behind the public record deal, and it's and surprisingly, I went there at night on my motorcycle and tons of lights, so that actually made me feel a little bit comfortable. I didn't feel like I was going to get shot because there's 2 cops sitting there in the parking lot. But there was a 24/7 smoke shop. I guess smoking and vaping is the new thing. So they had a 24/7 smoke shop. There's a Wawa indirectly across there. Those usually stay open 24/7. So it's got the right bones. But I've gone by this place 3 times, and it's always looked like shit. They've never really had good advertising. Sometimes it says
I love the
open.
under new management banner.
Yeah, and that sign has been there for months.
Inside of the laundromat, covering 2 of the dryers. So why would you put under new management inside the laundry? The city probably came down on them when it was outside, and they spent $27 on it, so they didn't want to throw it away. So they brought it inside. You have to get permits to have banners that are not permanent under CC&Rs. So a little bit of insight there. Now that sign might be 10 years old, but it changed hands because someone bought it. So that one little sign is very telling, where they probably have a lease. Let's call Big Ted and see what the hell he's got to say. Stand by.
All right.
Subscribe. Don't miss this. Hey, this. Oh, people just love Yeah, some gal answered, and she's just not happy at all that I didn't instantly ask for Ted, and so she hung up. Let's try again. Stand by.
Yeah, it took me 3 times to get them, and then they answered, and then she said, "Talk to Ted."
All right, here we go. Now you subscribe again if you didn't do it. Again, picked up and hung up. Picked up and hung up the phone. Let's do this again. Here we go. What's wrong with people? Hello. Oh, they're doing a lot of business. A lot of business being done over there. So they did the same thing to you? Just pick up and hang up?
Yeah, it took 3 calls, and then I finally got him on the phone, and then she transferred me to Ted.
All right, here we
He wasn't
go.
around, but
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, buddy. All day.
Hello?
Hey, Ted.
Yes, sir.
Ted, my name's Danny. I'm looking at some space here in Colonial Heights. I'm interested in leasing it from you.
What is that? Where is that at?
The exact address.
Uh-huh.
That's my interest, Ted. I'm actually in the laundry business. My partner and I are looking to build out some more stores. And what we do is go into these local laundries, usually do a bit of laundry. In fact, they're open to the public. When we see underperforming stores with some older equipment, etc., I want to reach out to the landlord or their management company and see if there's any availability for a lease anytime soon. And if and when it is, I sign that lease, put new equipment in, and operate. You know, at the end of the day, if no one's retooling these stores and spending the money that needs to be spent, then, you know, the laundromats just kind of fall into disrepair and it gets a bit worse and worse for wear. And look, if I'm right, you have a tenant there.
Yeah, we just got a new tenant in there. He hadn't been in there very long.
And he bought the business.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I saw the new management banner, but the sad fact is, Ted, they've got 25-year-old equipment. They've got a payphone there that we usually rip out right away. And, you know, they're just, we need to bring a laundromat into the modern times, obviously, with newer equipment and modern procedures and employees. So let's do this. I'll send you an email. I hope they do well. I honestly do. And serving the community is what laundromats do. I don't buy them, like I said. I'm not interested in purchasing this laundromat at any point for any price. I'm making a dozen calls today in the area, and chances are 1 or 2 landlords will say, you know what, they're month to month, or maybe I would have caught you 6 months ago. This would be a very different conversation. I don't mind that folks are selling these stores, but they're just not going to sell them.
This guy just bought this from the other guy, and so I think he's probably got a couple of year lease or at least a year lease at this point.
Yeah, and again, that's something that my modus operandi is very, very different. I would never buy a business and then sign a very short, truncated lease, because when I'm spending all that money on equipment, I need to have at least a 15-year term. It's a very serious, long-term investment for my partner and I. So, you know, I appreciate the insider information. I'll email you.
Another thing here too, we're in the middle of selling. We're the owners down there now. We're in the middle of selling our properties down there right now.
The whole strip mall is for sale then.
Well, no, it's not owned by. It's got multiple owners in there.
I see. Okay.
All right, so not the whole thing's for sale, but we're selling out our interest down there in
Gotcha.
that shopping center.
So
So
sort of
it's
like they do in
make it,
Canada, the suites are split up. How many suites do you have?
well, I've got the laundromat, the Chinese restaurant, the vape store, and Curly's right there. Everything right in that corner there. That's pretty much what we have, plus the parking lot and the ATM out there.
Okay.
But we have the guy in the vape store. It's no secret. The guy in the vape store, the tenant there, he's buying everything. So you probably could have this conversation with him in a month or so. It might be a little different.
Perfect. Understood. All right. Well, that won't stop
Okay.
me from keeping this bridge up and running. What's your best email address? I'll send you a little email. I don't have a mailing list, so I won't stay on you about it, but I'd love to make a connection.
Yeah.
Got it the first time. Ted, I appreciate you. What's the gentleman with the vape shop? What's his first name?
His name is Akram.
Okay, perfect. Does he work in the vape shop? If I go roll in there, will I see him?
He's the owner of the business. I don't know who he's got working in there.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm not
He's
going to trouble you
got
further
a lot
for.
of
Right, right. Well, good for him. All right, Ted, I'll send you an email. I'll CC my partner, Ken. I appreciate your time.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, buddy. So, generally speaking, no matter how much research that you do, you're never going to be able to get the gold that we just got from a guy like Ted, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm supposed to be this just overbearing dude that doesn't understand how things work in Virginia or South Texas. Well, bullshit. People are all the same. The guy wants to talk, I'll let him talk. Now, I in a month or so, I could probably feel more comfortable asking for Akram's number, but not at this point. There's a reason behind it. I don't want to seem overbearing, but you're not going to be able to figure out online what's going down. So what we
Yep.
know, this poor bastard bought this business, just like I said, but not smart enough to realize that an under new management sign inside the laundry is not going to do him any damn good. They've got a Pepsi
Oh yeah,
machine
he's effed
unplugged.
because
They've got the old change machine in the back of the store. It's just dingy, nasty. The equipment all needs to be replaced. All those top loaders need to go. This could be a functioning, profiting laundry, but not the way that it is. So, as bad as it is, it's golden. And if there is truly only a year remaining, and look, Akram is the guy. So, make all of your notes here, start your due diligence process, and try to figure out who this dude is. First thing I would do if
okay.
this was me, I'd call the vape shop and ask for him, and then leave your cell phone number. Say you're interested in talking in reference to some real estate. But then don't answer your damn phone. If it's your local church pastor, that's one thing. But if it's a blocked line or a number you don't recognize, start to gather and collect those numbers so we can call Akram's number. It might just end in a proper cell phone. Don't mention the laundromat. Just mention the real estate deals that are being done because we know this guy's a real estate guy. Maybe you look up his name and you find it right away on a listing, but his fingerprints are probably going to be all over this. Forget about what the hell's
Okay.
going on with Ted's real estate empire because you got to call the guy literally 5 times to get him to answer the fucking phone. And then when he finally does,
Yeah.
it sounds like he's got his feet up and I'm on a speakerphone. But again, Guys willing to talk. I feel poorly, I really do, for these folks that are buying these laundries, but this isn't a loss. You know, you've got in 2 calls, 2 potential future laundries that fall into your lap. This one maybe a little sooner than later. Keep looking, find me some more stores, and get us the information on Akram that we need so we can drill down on him. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Danny. Talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye. Now to you louts. Uh-oh. Hi, kids. Let's burn through some of your queries here, and I want to hear what you think about the conversations that we're having and the reality of you. If your name is SnickelFritz39 at YouTube, let me know what your name is. Hey, this is Bob. My experience in laundries is X. And here's the question I have for Danny. Mahuya. Mahuya? Hi, Danny. Hello. Mac, hey, Danny. Hi. What's up, Danny? Hi, Wayne. Hey, says Play Jazz. Mahuya. Danny, does the distributor ask for a credit score and or bank statement when you go for the retool? What a silly question. Of course. So your question is a very, very fearful one. And what you should be asking is, what qualifies me for an equipment note? You're not buying the laundromat. You're not building the laundromat and trying to get a loan for lumber and plumbing, etc.
Nigel Anderson or Trap Call?
Your qualification is a lease. You will be qualified for equipment when you sign a lease. Here's what I mean. I always talk about car dealers. It's something that we've all done or will do probably several times in our life. It's a big purchase. It's a major purchase in our lives. So what qualifies you to buy a brand new Ferrari is your 850 FICO score. Maybe you don't have a job. Maybe you've never had a job. I know that my 18-year-old has an 8-something FICO score, hundreds of thousands in the bank. That's a different story. Her dad talks to her about money. This stuff skips a generation in wealthy families. But I digress. She could literally roll in and buy a new Ferrari. They don't care if you can make the payment. They just want to make the sale. What qualifies her is that FICO score. You might have to fib a little bit about the job and how long you've worked for NASA. But what backs up that statement that you've made, that you're making $8,000 a day, is your FICO score. I know millionaires and a couple of billionaires that don't care about their credit because they don't work in it or on it. It doesn't matter. You might think if you're a billionaire that you pay cash for everything. No, you use credit for business. So to answer, does the distributor ask for a credit score and bank statement? Sure they do. But that's a fearful question that's keeping you from moving forward. You're frozen in that fear. Number one, if you're an adult person, especially with kids, go fix your credit. Do you need it to do this? No. So what qualifies you when you go to the dealership? If you roll up on a bicycle with holes in your shoes, the salesmen are going to sit in there in the air conditioning and not even get off their keister. You pull up in a 2-year-old GMC Denali. You get out, the wife gets out, you pull one of the kids out of the back of the car in a baby seat. Holy shit, they're going to be stabbing each other with pens to get to you. You are qualified. You're here for a new vehicle, and they know that. So what qualifies you for this? Having a lease in hand. More than any credit score, or I don't know what you mean by P&L statements for your past. I've done this dozens of times, live, in fact, instead of academia talking to you about this, where I explain to folks that lease is what qualifies you, because now you've got Hibbs, Speed Queen, Wascomat, ADC, Dexter, Continental Grabeau, you've got Maytag, you've got all of these companies fighting over your business because the lease says very clearly, I'm about to retool this store with new equipment. It's either going to be you or your competitors that get the bid. When they get around to your credit score, you've already made a deal. Sadly, we are judged not by the company we keep, but by our FICO score. So fix it. Tighten your belt. I don't have much respect for unkempt, messy people in their personal lives or their business lives. Straighten your shit out. There's my motivational speech. Try not to be an idiot. Solric76 says, hello, everyone. Hi, everybody. Hello, Paulino. They're talking amongst themselves. Hello. Randy, good morning, Mr. D'Angelo. Well, how kind of you, Mr. Miller. First time here. Hope to own one very soon. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard, Solrac. We're going to want to know what your actual first name is. And we love to deal with first-timers because you are probably in the wilderness somewhere with nothing more than your underwears. Marcus, good morning, Mr. Danny. Tuning in from Dallas. Hey. Hello, sir. Could I get a new number to contact you guys? No one is returning my calls from the other number. If you're dialing the toll-free number from the website, why are you doing that? I'm literally right here, right now, in real time. You want to know the everything of what it is that we do? Go watch 1,000 of my YouTube videos, or cut to what others on here will tell you to do. I'm not going to say it. It's silly. What did I miss, says Ben. We'll go back and watch this. A couple of good calls. I'm Pauline. Hi, Danny. Going to call you as soon as I finish the course. Let's do it, Pauline. I'm excited. There's a little link in there so you can pay me a few bucks and do it. Todd wants to know, when retooling a store, what drives a change to layout, reconfigure, or mix of machine size? You're going to get the biggest machines that you can wedge in there within reason, Todd. And I know that we are working on your lease currently. So depending, we don't have the store yet. And when we get it, top loaders, for instance, throw them out. You don't want them. They're not efficient. It's like showing up in a Prius to pick up a dozen kids on the way to a baseball league game. It's not going to work. You need a bus. Paulino, what if I have capital? That means money, kids. Kill shot. But my FICO recently went down. Can I still secure a loan with less than perfect FICO score? Just talked about all of that. It's meaningless. Cool shirt. Yep. Any idea what movie? Anybody know? Hey, Danny, your name's John, but I appreciate your telling me, John. Kind of you. My experience is minimal watching the course right now. He's got the course. Tell what's-his-face what to do. Have done zero recruiting. I think you mean scouting. May also be a little fearful here. Thanks for saying that. I know my wife certainly is when hearing me talk about this stuff. John, what's the alternative? I can't speak to having a wife, a significant other, a partner who doesn't back you 100%, because my wife always does. No matter how Looney Tune the shit is I want to do, she's there for it. Now, if past performance is indicative of future results, then that's probably why Shelly's into it, because she's like, yeah, you're pretty good at this stuff, no matter what the stuff is. Whether it's going to Europe without any reservations other than a plane into one country and out of another. Whatever happens in between is up to us. We might love a little town and want to stay there a few extra days. We might decide that the hotel is shitty and we want to move to another. No reservations. She trusts me in that. And what I'm saying is I can't speak to the unholy feeling you must have when the wife is like, so don't be the guy that's an I told you so. I'm going to go get a laundromat and open it and start earning profit just so I can tell my wife I was right. Bring her along in the process, more importantly. I've dealt with a lot of couples, a lot of mother, daughter, father, son teams, cousins, brothers, nephews, family. And if the wife is skeptical, maybe it's your fault. Maybe it's the way you bring her into it. Handed her a loaded shotgun and say, shooting is fun. No ear and eye protection. Boom, she falls down. Everybody laughs. It's not how you do it. You get it. You say yourself that you are fearful. So here's what I would talk to the wife about. What is plan B, sweetheart? If she says, just doing what we are doing, going to our jobs every day, the just over broke until we're ready to die, and we get the gold-plated watch and the retirement. That's not much of a plan, is it? I'm here giving you a real plan. And the folks like Ken we just spoke with are following up and following through. I'm here to alleviate some of the issues with the monster under the bed and the fear, not all of them. I'm not here to bullshit you either. There's a ton of work to be done. Ken's doing the work. Ken's going to figure out who the new guy is, not me. I'm just a scalpel. I'm just here to do the small thing, negotiate, that a lot of people don't want to. Are all equipment loans, everybody's on this loan thing. Are all equipment loans variable after the first year? No, John. No. All equipment loans are variable in every single way. You can negotiate. When they say, oh, come buy this new Ford F-150, it's either $7,800 off the price or 0% interest. That's the biggest lie ever told. When you roll in there, you're going to say, all right, I'll give you $500 over invoice. That's far, far, far less than $7,000 off. You can negotiate the price and get the zero. But if you believe the hype and the commercials, you're in trouble. What am I saying? These equipment loans come from the manufacturers so they can do whatever they want, and they will if you know how to pit them against each other. It's all in the silly course. Hi, Solric says, I'm Carlos, trying to email you now. Don't try to email me, Danny@freelaundromat.com. Ask whatever questions you would like, my friend. This dude's trying to call and email when we're literally on a live. What do you want to ask? Marcus, Danny, do you think it'd be a good idea to position the bigger washers closer to the front door? No, put them in the back. The larger washers by the front door are going to impede everyone's view, make it a better place for a criminal type. Not a good idea. Not everything's a knockdown, drag out fight. Many of the calls that we make are information gathering missions. And this was a good one. If you're new here, you'll learn that I'm not the guy that's going to say that my course is the answer to every question. But when it comes to doing this, I'm going to let you guys tell these people that. And they're already catching up now. It's fantastic and glorious because it's a stream. And the last time I added to the streaming course, just course videos and content and quizzes, we added to it last week. John says, thanks, you're welcome. Carlos again, I'm not watching live. I'm catching up now. Understood. Got to bring her along with eye protection and earmuffs. Thanks for getting that, John. Hand her a 22. Don't go to an indoor range. Wayne says, get the course. My wife's skeptical, but she's very supportive. I'm scouting stores and we'll be calling you soon. The course is direct and we have zero experience. I'm trusting the process. Thanks, Danny. Well, trust is something that you need for religion, not for this. I've outlined all of it for you. I'd rather see everyone here and every client that I have never open a laundromat than go give someone 300 grand. Look at this guy. Bought this business and then signed a year lease. He has no bargaining chip. The place is probably for sale again. Under new management banner inside of the laundromat. Wow. Tell me you know nothing about business. Joshua, good morning, Danny. Still saving up so you can work magic silver tongue on an unsuspecting landlord. Happy to do so. Happy to do the work for you. Let's have a little bit of fun, kids. If you're watching this evergreen video, comments mean a lot to me because I love to interact with you guys. So let's do this. Tell me what your experience is in laundries. If it's 0, where are you going to get that experience? Where is your next step and your next move coming from? Ciao. Try not to be an idiot.